What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Um, Start off, appreciate the almost 100 views on week 4, guys. Duly appreciate it. Almost hit 100 views for the week 4 picks video. Um, please keep that up. Keep that viewers going. And please, guys, if y'all guys are viewing, don't be afraid to hit that like button as well. Hit the subscribe button. Um, I do appreciate all the support y'all guys are showing with the views, but please, again, hit the like, hit that subscribe. Um, I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, and try to keep doing this content for y'all until the Super Bowl, hopefully, and then maybe years to come. So, before we jump into it, I know we had a lot of crazy games last week. Some shockingly a crazy freaking overtime game against the Cowboys and the freaking Packers. So, my current record standing right now, as of last week, I am 10, 5, and 1 with the Dallas Cowboys tie and the Green Bay Packer tie. So 10, 5, and 1 is my current last week's record. So hopefully, I mean, it's still a good start, better than when I used to keep doing this back in 2023. I usually fall short, but lately I've been doing good. So hopefully week 5 is a lot more better and consistent. Week 9 is the midway season point, which I will give a update of the standings, where I where I think this team is going to improve into the playoffs, maybe the number 1 team. We'll see. So, again, hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into these picks. So, first off, we got is the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Another Rivals Week jersey showing with the Los Angeles Rams. As we've seen already, the Arizona Cardinals, Miami Dolphins on Monday night. And this coming week, we're going to see possibly the Rams showing theirs. So, and the Bills on Sunday night. So, some good rival jerseys showing. I can't wait to see how those games turn out. But again, going back to the Thursday night game, Rams versus 49ers. 49ers had a struggle game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. A close game against them, giving them 26 points. I mean, Brock Purdy coming back. I mean, he still was missing a few key pieces, but I think this game against the Rams is going to be hopefully a close one for them. The Rams put up a good game, as I predicted correctly. A upset at home against the Colts. So, again, I feel like this is going to be a tough game for the 49ers. I don't think it's going to be a bounce back game for them, but I do believe that the Rams can pull off this win 28-24. So, again, I can't wait to see the Rams blackout jersey this year. So, because I know they're one of the 3 teams that have blackout jerseys this year. Because we got Miami that showed theirs Monday. We got the 49ers will probably show theirs probably in a couple weeks, probably next week or so. And then the Rams showing theirs this coming week. So, again, it's going to be crazy to see. I can't wait to see the rivals jersey for the Rams. So, but again, Rams 28-24. Next game we have is the Dallas Cowboys taking on against the New York Jets. Again, that game against the Green Bay Packers last Sunday on Sunday Night Football. Micah Parsons didn't put up a lot against Dallas. 1 sack and 3 QB hits. I thought he was going to do more, at least in that game, against his revenge game. But I don't know what they did in the last 13 seconds. I don't know why Jordan Love didn't just spike the ball, give themselves a little more time, maybe have 2 shots at the end zone at least. But they decided to go for a tie. So we'll see how the playoffs implement the tie, if it does give Dallas a shot to be in the playoffs or not. So we'll see. But again, crazy game for the Cowboys. But hopefully we'll see if they can bounce back in this game against the Jets, as the Jets played the Miami Dolphins Monday. Justin Fields put up a decent game against Miami. A close one, at least, finishing it off 21-27. So at least Mike McDaniel gets to keep his job. So it was either going to be last week or this week that was going to lose it, but bounced back and won. So hopefully we get to see how Miami does in the next couple weeks. So, but again, I do feel like the Dallas Cowboys, I wouldn't say a bounce back, but at least get a win. So bounce back win against the Jets, possibly 31-20 ball game. That's what I got for the Cowboys. Next game we have is our first London game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. Third international game of the international series. I know a couple weeks back we had first game in Dublin, and last game was in, I was going to say Spain. No, Brazil. First game was Brazil. Second game was Dublin. Third game, this coming week is in England. So this is first of the two games in England. So this is gonna be a good matchup. I know Vikings, they're not gonna be able to go to home. They're not gonna travel back home since they got to stay in that region at least. Because since they got to travel to Ireland, not Ireland, because they're in Ireland, travel to England. So probably what they're doing is right now is they're just staying in Dublin, doing some training there at the facility, wherever they have out there, and then probably Saturday night or Friday night, one of the two, they'll head over to England, spend some time in England, and to get ready for the Browns in England. So, but a good game for the Minnesota Vikings as they played, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers. A tough loss, though. But hopefully they can bounce back in this game since, again, Cleveland's Cleveland. I don't know how good they're going to be. But I do believe that Minnesota can bounce back in this one. Bounce back in this one. Possibly 28-14 for Minnesota. 28-14. So hopefully we can see a good matchup game in London with this one. So again, we'll see how this one turns out. Can't wait. Next game. So I'm already getting comments on my TikTok for this game that Saints are not going to win it and all that. Let's go Saints. I don't see much. Sadly, I don't see much in the Giants in this matchup. I mean, they did do a decent game against the Chargers. But against the Saints, I know the Saints have been losing so many games against the good teams like the Bills last week, the Seahawks the week before. So, and this is a tougher team, not a tougher team, because I mean this could be a closer game that everyone's probably thinking, but I do believe that the Saints can pull off a win. I'll give it to them 24 to 20. 24 to 20. 24 to 20 ball game for the Saints. That's what I believe. That's what I predict. I know we're hoping to tank for the number 1 seed for Archie Manning, but since his performance lately, I don't think they're going to tank. They may tank for a top 3 spot, but I don't think for the number one pick. So again, 24 to 20, New Orleans Saints. Next game we got is the Las Vegas Raiders taking on against the Indianapolis Colts. Shocker game for the Indianapolis. Again, I was hoping they would win against the Colts to keep their undefeated season alive, but as I predicted correctly, Rams beat them at home. Upset at home. That one's going to be a good game, hopefully. I think it's going to be a bounce back, hopefully, for the Indianapolis Colts to go 4-1. Raiders, they didn't do much last week as they almost had a close win against the not Cleveland, Chicago Bears. 25-24 ball game. It was that one, a 1-score game. But I do think that the Colts can make a bounce back in this game, winning it, hopefully going 30-28. 30-28, the ball game for this one for Indianapolis. Next game we got is the Miami Dolphins taking on I want to say Cleveland, not Cleveland, Carolina Panthers. A good game for Miami. I was watching that at work. Again, it was a fight back and forth between them and the Jets. Excuse me. I think there's going to be a game for the Jets that they could win, but I know they got a tough sledding down the road. But we'll see what they got next couple weeks before the midseason. So we'll see. And then Miami, I mean, what a good game for this one, as at least Mike Daniels can keep his job. Possibly this is another game that he could probably potentially win against the Panthers, because I know Panthers, they played the Patriots, so they didn't play too decent. I want to say this could be a bounce back game for the Panthers, but shocking thing to say, I think this could be a close one. I want to say Panthers and bounce back, but I'm gonna go Miami. 28 to 14. 28 to 14 Miami in this game. I know on my TikTok I got the Panthers, but I do think Miami can go on a 2-0 run. So again, 28 to 14 Miami. Oof. Now this game, Denver Broncos against the Philadelphia Eagles. Before I talk about this game, the Philadelphia Eagles had a crazy game. Hopefully y'all guys watched that one against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. Several key game plays and stuff that were happening. Several blocks in this for field goals and PATs. A close game for them, but at least they pulled it off against them. So it was if I would tell you, it was a crazy game to watch, and I was watching that on my break. It was insane. Final score for that one was 31-25. Close game. And for the Broncos, a disaster class for the Cincinnati Bengals. There's going to be a time where it's going to come down to it where Jamar Chase is going to want out of Cleveland. So, I mean, why do I keep saying Cleveland? Cincinnati wants out of Cincinnati. So, this could be where it's going to be a good game for the Broncos, though. Probably a good fight game for them, but I think Eagles can come out on top, continue their undefeated streak. I say 32-28, a good 32-28 ball game for the Eagles. So, again, we'll see how this one goes out. I think this one could have been a good Sunday night game, but the one for the later game that I'm going to talk about shortly, that one's going to be a good one. So, 32-28 Eagles. Next game, I don't know if I want to much talk about this one. Ravens, I had so high hopes, but Lamar, he's just not showing anything. The last few games, they were stinkers. Like, if we go back to week 1, it was just a horrible, I don't know what's going on with the Ravens lately. Like week 1, they played the Colts. They beat them 24-16. Oh no, my bad. That's preseason. Week 1, they played the Bills and lost to them by 1. Week 2, they played. Where are you hiding? Week 2, they played the Browns. I mean, Browns are the Browns. So, and then week 3, they played the Lions. So, and then last week they played the Chiefs. So 3 out of the 4 teams they played, minus the Browns, were tough games. And this week, he played the Houston Texans, a struggling Houston team that they lost to who they lost to last week. Oh no, they beat the Tennessee Titans. So, again, I don't have high hopes anymore for the Ravens. I mean, this could be a win for the Ravens, but Houston could pull off a win. If this game, Ravens can show that they can win without Lamar, because I know he's out with a hamstring, and Cooper Rush is possibly starting. If not, they're going to be struggling because they got the Texans this week. Next week, they got the Rams, a hot team Rams. And then the following week, they're probably on a bye in week 7. And then week 8, they got the Bears. So between this game to week 8, Ravens need to show something at least to be playoff contenders. Because if not, they're screwed. They're probably going to have to be looking for a new quarterback, or if Derrick Henry retires this year. So I'm going with hopefully the Baltimore Ravens winning it 28-20. 28-20 in this game. Hopefully the Ravens can show and prove to this game that they can win it. So we'll see how this game turns out on Sunday. Next game, don't really have to talk about it. Anything against the Tennessee Titans, I'm not going to talk about much about the team. Arizona's going to blow them out. possibly 40 a 40 ball. They're going to give them a 40 ball. That's what they're going to do. They're going to put a 40 ball on the Tennessee Titans. 40 to 6. 40 to 6. No, Cardinals. I'm not going to talk much about that game. Next we got is the Eagles versus Bucks game. The Bucks facing off against the Seattle Seahawks. A good win for my Seahawks against the Cardinals. A close game, 23-20, against the Arizona Cardinals. So again, the game that I was just talking about with Arizona, that's gonna be a bounce back for them, automatic. Don't think they're gonna. Hopefully, they don't lose to Tennessee, but this game, Seattle versus Buccaneers, it's gonna be a good matchup. Buccaneers are gonna want to fight to at least bounce back in this one, so we'll see how this one turns out. But I do got my Seattle Seahawks winning it. Shockingly, it's gonna be a close one, 28-24. 28-24 ball game in this one. So it's gonna be a close one. If the Buccaneers do win, hoorah to them. They are a good team. They are scary, but I do think that Seahawks could probably pull it off 28-24. It's gonna be a close one. Next game, again, this is another team I don't know if I want to talk about much anymore. They're like the Ravens. They've been struggling. The Cincinnati Bengals. They lost a big game against the Denver Broncos last week. The week before that, they lost big time to the Minnesota Vikings. The week before that, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in a close matchup game. And then in week 1, almost lost to the Cleveland Browns. But this week they're playing the Detroit Lions, and I don't think they're gonna do well against Detroit. I think it's gonna be another blowout game for Cincinnati, possibly a 42-14 ball game for Detroit. Detroit will win this game 42-14. Next game is gonna be a good game. We got is the Commanders taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Both teams possibly trying to get their revenge games since Chargers lost a stinker, don't know how, to the New York Giants. And the Commanders also losing to the Falcons. A close game. They almost made a comeback. Falcons almost pulled the choke game against the Commanders, but they didn't. So good to the Falcons. But again, this one, wish it was a Sunday night game because this one is a good rematch. But don't know if Jalen Daniels is returning in this game. If he does, I do think Commanders can pull it off. If not, I'm going with the Chargers. But I do think that Jalen's going to come back in this matchup. It's going to be a tough game. I got them 30-28, a 2-point margin ball game for the Commanders. If Jalen Daniels does come back, it's going to be a 32-28. If not, possibly the other way around, 34-20 ball game for the Chargers. So we'll see. Hopefully Jalen Daniels comes back. We get that 30-28. So that's what I'm going with. The 30-28 Jalen Daniels Commanders. Alrighty. And before I do jump into the Sunday and Monday night, there are 4 teams on a bye this week. The Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I believe the Atlanta Falcons. Those 4 teams are on a bye this week. So they're resting before their next week's games, and I will talk about their week 6 next week. So they are on a bye. So if you did not hear those teams, that's the reason why we get our first early bye game, bye not bye games, bye resting teams. So those are the 4 teams. So hopefully next week is good games to come back fresh and possibly beat their teams next week. And then before I do jump in, guys, again, appreciate the 100 views on week 4. Let's get this one to at least 100 views as well, maybe 200 views. And if you're watching this, don't be afraid. Hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button, please. Let's grow this channel. Let's at least the goal for subscribers. Let's get to 100 subscribers, at least. And I know the viewers, I know y'all guys are watching this. Smash that like button at least. Let's get to 200. At least a goal of 200 likes, at least. 100 subscribes, 100 likes. Let's repeat again 100 views. I know it could happen. I know y'all can do it. So please, like, subscribe, keep viewing, and let's keep going on to the next final 2 games. Next final 2 games we got is the Sunday night football with the New England Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. So this is gonna be another game where we'll see the NFL rivals jerseys, where the Buffalo Bills will probably wear their whiteout jersey this coming week. So we'll see how it looks against New England. So it's gonna be nice. I can't wait to see the Bills' whiteouts. So, but I do think that the Bills can win this game. It's gonna be a close one. I know the Patriots always have their 1-on-1s against the Bills, but I do think this one is gonna be a close one. Hopefully, I know Josh Allen's gonna do pretty good in this one. Stephon Diggs, this is gonna be a good game. I love how they put this one on Sunday night. Josh Allen versus Stephon Diggs is going to be an insane game to see. A reunion game, another revenge game, of course. So we get back-to-back Sunday night games with the former players coming back to their former teams' homes. So I got the Bills winning it 27 to 25. 27 to 25. It's gonna be a crazy game. I think this one's gonna be the craziest out of everything. So again, 27 to 25 ball game. So, and last but not least, Monday Night Football with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This Monday night game, I don't know if I want to talk too much about it, but I mean, this could be a shocker game. Kansas City is going to Jacksonville. So, who knows? I mean, the past few games for Jacksonville, they beat the 49ers. And the week after that, they beat the Houston Texans. And they almost came so close to beating Cincinnati Bengals. And then who they played week 1, and they beat the struggling Carolina Panthers. So again, it's going to be a good game for this one. I know KC is struggling a little bit at this point. I know week 1 in Brazil, they lost to the Chargers. Week 2, Where are you hiding? Week 2. They lost to the Super Bowl reigning champs, the Eagles, by 3. Week 3, they played the Giants, which obviously good blowout game. So they were 1-2. Last week, they played the Baltimore Ravens, I believe. Yeah, and won that game. So, and then this game is going to be a good one. I do think that the Kansas City Chiefs can pull off this win, winning it possibly 33 to 30. It's going to be a 3-point ball game. Jaguars are going to do pretty decent, hopefully. If not, it could be a shutout game for Kansas City against the Jacksonville. Basically a good, if it's a blowout, possibly 30-9, maybe 30-12 if it's a blowout, but 33-30, that's the margin I'm going for. So, again, guys, hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos. Please, again, like, subscribe, keep the view count going up, share if you can. Trying to grow this content. And I can't wait for next week, because looking at the schedule for week 6, it's going to be insane matchups, especially for Sunday night. So, again, hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos and content, and I can't wait to see y'all in week 6. Stormcast.